Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Obviously, a significant amount of things have been going on inside of the case market. Today, we're going to be breaking that down and honestly giving you my true feedback about what's going on. Obviously, before we get too far into it, I have my own case investments. I haven't really picked up anything new as of recently. You can always find that in the description, and it's something that I like to keep 100% transparency with because there could be a little bit of informal bias that seeps into the videos like this. We're going to be starting off after a quick word from our sponsor, Skins Monkey. The sponsor for today's video is Skins Monkey. Now, Skins Monkey is the quickest, easiest, and most importantly, safest way to go ahead and trade your CSGO skins. Now, Skins Monkey is super easy to use. You just have to take your item, take the item you want, and just go ahead, apply code MASTERSHINY to get your free $5 if it's your first trade, and just click trade. And if you've got no money to spend right now, they've got two ways for you to get some. First is just heading over and topping up. Make sure to use code MASTERSHINY for a free 5% there, and they've also got the freebies section where you can go ahead and enter free raffles that happen every single day. And as always, thank you so much, Skins Monkey. Make sure you use in the top link in the description to claim your free $5 today. Now, I had mentioned my investments, and I want to talk a quick second about that. So lately, or at least for the past couple of weeks, I've been keeping track of my overall inventory value. Now, this is not 100% full, but it's everything I've got on the sheet, which keeps it nice and consistent. And around 2 to 2.5 weeks ago, I was sitting at just under $13,000, and now I'm at $14,500 with making no actual investments into CSGO, as I can remember. Maybe something very small, maybe a couple extra cases that I got dropped or whatever, but nothing significant. And I am up $1,500, which is absolutely insane when you think about it, considering nothing I have been doing has changed at all. So that brings us to what's been changing. Well, obviously there's been one major group that's been changing, and that's cases. As we've seen, Rio has really taken a back seat, and during the past couple months, a lot of the focus has been on cases. And specifically, it seems like the cheaper cases are the ones that are the big movers. If we want to talk about past couple months, or just even the past month specifically, Hydra case and a lot of these other more expensive cases, you can look at the graphs. They really haven't done a ton. And that's because of the nature of why these prices are going up, which we will get to in just a quick minute. But talking about these cheap cases here, I struggle significantly because this is obviously not something that is naturally possessed. We're going to see that once again in just a minute. Biggest thing I want to point out with this is obviously be careful. This is starting to get into that bubble territory when we have graphs looking like this, and like this. You can see all three of these graphs have one trend in common, and that's that the past week does not look anything like the past couple months. The past week has been almost on a 100% up train compared to, you know, the past month for a lot of these cases. So it's something you need to be careful of because this is how people get burned, and specifically a lot of people who aren't too familiar with what they're doing. Now, talking about why these cases are increasing, I believe it comes down to a couple factors. The first one most people are probably pretty aware of is there really hasn't been much going on for the game. I'm not going to dwell on this too long, but obviously we have not seen a significant update to the game in quite a long time. Obviously, we just got the Revolution case, which gave a little bit of interest for a short period of time, but a case is not going to be sustained interest for the game. We've mentioned this time and time again. You need to have some sort of content update if you want that sustained interest from the general public, other than just people who are interested in playing the game itself. This leads a lot of people to turn towards investing as something to fill the time in between the gaps. The other thing going on is obviously we want to talk about the investing boom. A lot of people are becoming much more interested, which kind of goes all along with that last piece where we're seeing so many people, and I can see it on my end when my views go up for no specific reason, that much more people are interested in CSGO investing. In fact, it's starting to get a little bit similar to what happened when we saw around that Broken Fang time period, where a lot of people were investing into things and they were just going up because the whole market was going up extremely quickly. And speaking of which, that's the last point I want to make, is the entire market was moving a couple weeks before this, and I think that's very important. If we want to look at things that have gained a significant amount of interest, it was Stockholm. Now look at Stockholm. Stockholm's not moving at all. The interest has moved on, but in between Stockholm and where we're at now, we also had Antwerp. We had an Antwerp explosion, an investment that a lot of people were looking at being way too oversupplied to invest in. Obviously just proved that there was a pretty significant reason why it was oversupplied and a lot of people are making a significant amount of money off Antwerp, and that's how we've gotten to this point where the interest has now shifted into the case market that was relatively stagnant during the periods when we saw Stockholm and Antwerp going absolutely crazy. And all of those factors lead us to now where we talk about what is the main reason all of these things are going up. And there's one specific reason, and that's that there is a significant amount of investor demand. If we want to look at unboxing numbers, everything is consistent. Obviously, we can look at player numbers and see that at best case scenario, there's a couple more cases actually being dropped than what we saw in the past because we got more players playing. Therefore, that theoretically should equate to more drops. I'm not going to use that as an argument, but I just want to point out that the situation for the case unboxings is relatively similar than what we've seen in past months, but now we're starting to see this investment boom because we're starting to get the culmination of a couple things. Obviously, a lot of FOMO has been going on. We've seen people talk about their huge profits from Stockholm, their huge profits from Antwerp, and now we're seeing cases start to go up, which is just a huge snowball effect when we talk about CSGO investing and the fact that so many people have access to the Steam marketplace where they can see that these items have gone up potentially 100% in the past month. They want to get in on that. They don't want to feel like they've been left out of that profit, and that's why the prices continue to rise. Something like the CS20 case, which shouldn't really be going up in price, starts going up in price because people are looking at it being that's the one or potentially one of a couple cases that haven't moved yet, so we got to get in on it early. Obviously, I'm not on Valve's side, so I don't know if they made some small change like I was kind of hinting at in a different video, but it seems quite obvious from all of this information that the main reason cases are going up is because of the atmosphere that CSGO investing has created around these cases. Now, talking about the future for CSGO case investing specifically and CSGO investing as an overall whole, it's very interesting because, like I've mentioned, it seems like this is quite an artificial hype, but the thing is, artificial hypes don't necessarily always end in disaster. If we want to talk about a couple big ones, Stockholm is one that, in my opinion, was an artificial hype at the start, but then it actually got to a point where people had enough interest and sustained interest into it that it actually turned out to be an okay investment when we're looking at these capsules that are sitting at $6 a piece. In my opinion, there are some cases here that I would say are in a massive bubble territory, like the revolver case. However, I don't know necessarily if I would confidently say that the revolver case is going to drop down in price just because of how the revolver case has been in the past. The fact that we've had this case out for almost 8 years, 7-8 years at this point, it's such an interesting situation because every case is unique, and to try and group them all together is nearly impossible when the same trends can't really be equated for usually more than a couple cases together. The biggest thing I will say about the future of cases moving forward is I don't really expect many of these cases long term to be at a lower price than they are now. However, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to keep up the sustained higher price. If we see an operation tomorrow, which is quite unlikely as we all realize, prices are going to drop down. There could be a lot of events that drop the prices of cases down. If you're looking to profit in the short term here, it's probably not going to be super reliable, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching and hope you have a great rest of your day.